If you're thinking about getting into ultralight gear, you've probably watched some videos where people have talked about ditching their tents for a tarp. Most people think that you have to have trees in order to put a tarp up and really flat ground, but you don't. Up here in the Rocky Mountains, where I get up to pretty frequently, there's many times where I'm up above tree line and there's no trees around. So today I'll show you how to set up a tarp anywhere using some trekking poles and a few simple tricks. Hey guys, I'm Ricky and this is Moose, your trail buddies. Out here in the Rockies, finding trees can be a challenge when you're out trail running, backpacking, whatever it is you may be doing. And so in order to have a shelter, you have to know some ways to be able to get a shelter up when you don't have some of those things. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the different steps on how to set up a tarp, what gear you actually need, and 2 easy pitches that can pretty much help you in most situations. Here's everything you need. A simple flat tarp. I'm using the REI quarter dome. It's one of their ultralight versions, but I don't think they sell it anymore. But there's so many other versions out there nowadays. They're even lighter than this one. Dyneema and quite a few other things that you can get to be able to do it. Really all that matters is that it's square so that you can really get good pitches and stuff for it. You need 8 stakes. I like to use the S stakes. I know there's some lighter versions and stuff out there, but these do really well at grabbing, especially when you're out in the tundra up here in the mountains. You need a couple trekking poles. I use the Ultralight Comperdales. I'm sure I'm messing up that name, but you can use pretty much anything that you want. It really doesn't matter what you're using, but I have found that it's a little bit easier if you've got the clip tighteners on it to where you can actually really be able to clip it in in order to adjust your pitch on it. And then some string. Now, there's all kinds of ways you can get string, and you can get ultralight string. For me, REI had string as a part of the kit, and it's already got line locks and other things in it, so that's kind of what I use here. And I like that it's orange, which is one of my favorite colors, and a favorite color of the channel. And that's it. You don't really need any complicated system, especially no trees. So before you even pull your tarp out, make sure to look around and find the right spot. You want to try to find some flat ground, something without any divots that could collect water. Because if you do end up getting some rain, that can make your sleep no fun. But up here, you may not find the perfect spot, so find what you can. You want to try to find something without a whole lot of rocks, because nobody likes trying to sleep and having a rock poking you in the back. And if you are pitching your tent a little bit more tree line, you want to scan the area and look at the trees and make sure there's nothing dead or anything that potentially could fall on you or fall out of the trees if any big wind gusts come up through the night. And for us, even above tree line, you want to try to make sure you're not on the peak, because you're going to get really high winds on there. So you want to try to come down a little bit and try to find at least somewhere to give you a little bit of a windbreak. You're still going to have a decent amount of wind up here, but a little bit of a break can help a lot. And lastly, don't forget your leave no trace principles. Try to stay on durable surfaces and try to camp where existing spots have already been. If you're not using pre-rigged line like I am, then here's 3 knots that you can use to be able to tie your own whenever you're tying your line. A bowline in order to help attach your line to the tarp. A trucker's hitch or a taut line hitch can work well for being able to tighten up and taunt up the tarp from the stake. And then I like to use a clove hitch in order to attach the tarp to the trekking pole. Learn those 3 knots and you can pitch a tent just about anywhere. Now let's start off with the lean-to. The lean-to is your wide open, fair weather setup. Start by staking one long side of the tarp low and tight to the ground. You might want to use some rocks as well to try to hold the tarp down if the wind's blowing a bit. Then use your trekking poles to lift the front edge. Here's where you'll use that clove hitch in order to attach it to the trekking pole. You just make one loop and then another loop, and then put the top loop on top of the other loop, and then you can put your trekking pole in and tighten it up. Then you want to run guy lines out from the trekking pole out at a wide angle. This gives you tons of space and a great view. This is perfect for cooking, relaxing, or if you're trying to get out of a light rain. But remember, this setup catches wind like a sail, so it's not your best choice for storms for your shelter overnight. Now let's talk about our favorite pitch, the A-frame. When the weather looks rough, you want to switch to an A-frame. Stake both long edges tight to the ground. Then take your trekking pole and raise the center portion of your tarp. You want to attach the trekking pole again here with your clove hitch. Angle your poles slightly inward for better stability and pull the guidelines until each panel is smooth and taut. Now do the same thing on the other side. Now once you've got your sides done, now let's pull the other end of the tarp out and stake it down. You can see as I'm starting to stake this down that the tarp's starting to get pulled tight, but it's still pretty loose in the beginning. But that's where you can walk around the tarp and kind of cinch it up and tighten it up a little bit in order to get that perfect. And if you need to move a stake, that's fine too. This setup is great for shedding rain, and it handles the wind so much better. It's my go-to for unpredictable mountain nights. It's simple, it's light, and it's solid. All with gear you can easily put in your day pack if you're trail running and want to have some shelter for a long run, or if you're backpacking out long distances and just want to go ultralight. So that's how to pitch a tarp anywhere, even when the trees disappear. Once you learn this setup, you'll never stress about finding the perfect campsite ever again. If you want to see how I sleep comfortably after a long run or after a long backpacking trip, check out this video right here where I go through my whole ultralight sleep system. Thanks for hanging out with Moose and I today, and hopefully we see you guys out on the trail.